I just want to record which of the ewes, just like this one here, are shedding. The ewes had a strong dog count of 550 each. Right, we are, I can't remember the last bit I filmed, but we are on with shearing all the ewes, set up in the field, easy and ready to go. Well, that is shearing finished and just ahead of the rain. What good timing that is. Well, I haven't. I've not done a lot. I've done some wrapping and James been pushing up. But they've shorn 229 ewes there, including the border Leicesters, in 3.5 hours. So absolutely smashing it. But I reckon it's time for lunch because it is now getting heavier and heavier. We've got a minor issue. The mule, we want to go electric fencing, but this bar keeps catching there, and I think what is happening is, over time, this adjuster here has dropped down. That needs to go up so that the whole machine lifts up a bit. Then if we adjust this out a little bit to square it up, this is going in there. And what's happened, there's a shear bolt in there, which is twisted by the gears, which means this twists side to side, so the reels, the wire goes on its side to side and not all in one place. A rarity now. We're going to get some spanners out. I know, it's like a swear word on this channel. Something for here to make this go up. Get some of that in there. See how this is lifted now? Just there. Need to go a bit further. I think a quick fix. So we just moved that bolt down there because I think that is what keeps it tight. That one is the measure to put it up. Look, that's at least probably an inch or two. Yeah, a couple of inches I've moved it. The adjustment up here, hopefully now, when I push this across, this was the problem, it's hitting that bar. So when that turns, now it's not hitting the bar. And because of that, as I said before, this shear bolt here was snapping because that is what twists it. That end was hitting the bar and it kept snapping. I'm not the most technically minded fit person, so I thought something had been bent. But no, this is all straight and how it should be. I was worried I was going to have to get a new wrapper, but simple. Get someone like Dad that actually knows what he's on about with mechanics. There is an adjuster there, which I didn't know. So that is sorted and ready for action. Well, I thought I was done, but shearing went that well that we're weighing the lambs. We were going to do them later in the week, but we got the afternoon spare, so get these weighed, as I've got 2 people that want some lambs this week. Ready to rock and roll, James? Crossbred. Oh, not quite there. This one will be the lightest lamb. That's why I marked it. Oh, not quite. Right, we have finished off with 34 fat lambs. We've got 1 extra in there because I shut it off the wrong way, and then there's a ewe lamb in there that shouldn't be in there. So there's 33 fat lambs to go. We just got to run them over the road. They're going in another little paddock we have because they've grazed, well, I've topped off the one that they were in for a couple of weeks, the 50 others, they've grazed it off. Here now, here. Sit. So there they are in this nice paddock. Probably by the time they leave, that all that grass will be gone. It's currently Wednesday, James? Yeah. Wednesday, and these are going on Monday. So that is a good job done. We were going to do it later in the week, but we have some time spare. So where's the dog gone? Josie? Joe! Bet she comes back soaking wet out of the pond. Are you soaking wet? Oh, I'm good at guessing, aren't I? You've been in the pond. And that leaves us with a mixture of fat lambs. Purples are possible breeders for next year, and the 4 shearling tups. We're taking a good draw out of them anyway. Thinking is, obviously early in the week you'll know I did the egg counts. These wild groups were higher, so I'm now going to worm the rest of this group because I know that they need worming, but there's no point worming the ones that are going to go in 4 days because then they can't go and it's a waste of money. So that is a job for tomorrow. So for now I'll let them go. I think there should be approximately 51 left in this field, which means there is 11 purples, 4 shearlings and the rest fat. And also I'm thinking we're probably at the same time as worming tomorrow, I'm going to move on to fresh bed grass because they've just got on top of it. This is the lamb that was struck earlier in the week. It's a lot livelier, and also it had lost 6 kilos, so it shows if someone gets struck it is really stressful on the lambs. Busy day today. Those lambs yesterday I've had a phone call, so very lucky. The abattoir wants them this afternoon, but we're on a little bit of a road trip this morning. You know, I've mentioned that we're going to top the ewe lambs. We're taking a trip all the way over to West Wales. I'm going tup buying. Should we keep it a secret what we're getting? Dropped off, all Zolvix and worm drenched. I bet you're all wondering what they are. For those of you that guessed, yes, they are chamois. Going to be a bit careful because they've been bred on a hill and they're a little bit lively. But yeah, they're a small French breeder sheep which are really, really good for crossing onto ewe lambs. They're a nice shapy carcass, and as you can see, they've got tiny little heads, so easy lambing. So the plan is we've bought 3. We're going to have approximately 150 ewe lambs to go on them, for them to go onto, and fingers crossed they do the job. I'm really looking forward to trying them out. You'll notice one does have a longer tail because the breeder, he's aiming to breed them with short tails to reduce castration, reduce tail docking and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with them. They were a bit mucky because they were in the trailer for 4.5 hours. It was a long jaunt past Aberystwyth and another 20 miles on. But yeah, really, really happy with them. So I've done this because I forgot to film it yesterday. You'll skip back now of me letting them out into the field. Right, calm lads. Calm lads. Calm. Happy. Away from chamois, our new acquirements, back to the prime lambs. So I've just got back from the abattoir. We've took those 33 that we weighed out last week, which leaves us with about 35, 36 left in this field, plus the rest of them. As you can see, the grass isn't looking that great now. This was the best field of grass, but everything else seems to have got going again. So we are going to worm these because these had a high egg count. We did the egg counts earlier in the week, so they've slowed down the last week, so we need to keep them growing. They're going up there, and then we're going to go sort out the ewe lambs, because the rest of the fat lambs are going to get put with these, which should leave a group of about 65 fat lambs left, plus the cades. We've got the ewe lambs sorted, so I know how they're going to sales and everything. Then we are getting somewhere. We've just got to do the ewes at some point as well and sort through them. Yeah, priority is getting the prime fat lambs, whatever you want to call them, some fresh grass. This is the prop we're using today, Mole Ecto, so we're using an ivermectin drench. They're like probably weighing between 38 and 41 kilos, this group, so don't want them going backwards. The other group of ewe lambs came back with an egg count of 11, so if we're going to mix any together, I don't want to be carrying worms and stuff around. So yeah, get them cleared out. Any with purple spots don't need doing because they're thriving. All drenched, that's them sorted. Now he's going to walk these shearling tups there going in the field. But the fat lambs are in because there's plenty of grass left in there. Go on lad. Yes, they've just come out of a trailer. Yes, I've just driven them 50 yards across the road. Don't get me started, they won't go over the electric fence, and it was just easier to get them in the trailer and wander them over, which is a good sign. It means they're well, they're good on electric fence, so whoever wants them, they're not getting out off electric. Go on, hop. Go on, in we go. The rain is coming down now. I think we're going to have a change of order of jobs. I'm not going to go through the ewe lambs if it's like this, because wet sheep is really hard to judge when you're looking at them, and I'd rather do them when they were dry. So we'll have a change of direction for the day. Just look at this grass ready for these lambs. Heads down, grazing away and happy. So simple, but not simple at the same time. What we're doing is going to feel the back of these tups' backs, and we'll be able to tell how much condition they've got on. So I flip you round. What we're doing, we're feeling on their backs to see how much condition they've got on. For example, one thing we do have to sort of here is this Aberblack's back. Slightly annoying. We got nicked when it was shearing, and then a bird got on it. So you'll see here, these are 2 good examples. The Border Leicester. So what we do, if we rub that back, we can feel down these sides here, the spine is there. Each side is the rib cage, and you can feel the ribs. Whereas this teaser tuck, which is probably the fittest one in here, you'll see the difference there. A bit like this is also, this Aberblack's very fit as well. You'll see how this dips off down its back. You can feel the spine, whereas this tup here all you can feel is flesh. There is a scale of sheep that goes 1 to 5. I should be able to put this here. We want these tups really to be at least 3.5, 4 going into tupping. We don't want overfit because it means they're fat, and it means, like anything, if you're overweight, you're not going to work as well. But if you're underweight, it means they might underperform, and it can affect the production of semen. So we want them to be right. And I think, looking at it, the 2 border Leicesters, which is this one and that one, and then one of the Clins and the Rusand probably are going to have to be pulled out. But we're going to feel them and see what they're like. So it's the old border Leicester. You can feel it. I can feel its ribs, a bit like the other one. It's actually got more condition on it than the other younger border. Then we've got the Dylan Jones tup, which has just lost a little bit of nick. That is probably a condition score of 3. This border Leicester is probably like a 2.5. This border is probably 2.5 as well. Probably that's 2.75, that's 2.5, and this one's 3. Whereas like this tup here that's going to be a teaser, that is 4. That is spot on. Easy, because you 3 are going that way. You should now be able to actually see the difference. So these are the ones that need probably a condition on behind me versus the ones here that are nice and fit. You can really see the difference. So obviously we don't want to be feeding these any feed, else they'll be obese. We're just giving these a tickle of corn and a nice field of grass, the best field of grass can get for them. For a few weeks, should just get them in that condition, ready for the ladies. Look at the back end on the Aber Black. There's a couple of hobblers there. I've just given them a couple of jabs and some antibiotics because there's got a bit of scald, but that should sort itself out. Get these to the field, hopefully get an hour of dry and wind. What a nightmare. So we've just walked those tups in down to the field. The reason you haven't seen it is because we've had a disaster, just freak, whatever you call it. They were turning the corner. JC was stopping them from one side, and the older border tup collapsed, and it's now not with us. Like, it must have had a heart attack, I'm not sure yet. It's literally walked 100 yards, been cut off by the dog, went over its side, and yeah, I don't know what more to say. I've never had anything like that happen before. It's a 5-year-old tup. Should be another couple of years, but I don't know what else to say apart from that. A bit of a bummer. It's starting to rain again too now, so the ewe lambs aren't going to happen today. But everything's back where it is. The fit tups are in here, so yeah. Not a great morning.